Hey, what's up, Rubits? What's up? How you doing? How's everybody doing out there? This is a Little Big Robots here with something that I've shown a little bit before, but I'm kind of going through some organization of my shelves and stuff, my usual stuff you can see everywhere. And I just rigged up this quick little display tables, little craft table that I use occasionally to show off some of my some of the toys that I used to play with a lot, and some that I originally owned, and just kind of go through some of my history as a toy collector and lover and all that stuff like that. One of the things I really like is this line of Zoids. Zoids, I'm sure a lot of you out there know, Zoids is a line of battery activated often, and also just model kits. But before they were Zoids, they were called Robostrux. Robostrux, I believe, came from Japan first. When it came over here, it was called Zoids, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole history there. There's a good video on the history of Zoids I can leave in the description or whatever. But these two here are my original 2002 Zoids, which I was already a grown man by then. I think they're 2002. I'm trying to look for the date. But I've always loved wind-up toys. I just think it's neat that you have a thing that you can, physically kind of wind, and it creates enough energy for the toy to work. This one I acquired later on eBay. It was just a few bucks. I never had the Beetle, but I thought it was interesting how it worked. It's really, really fragile. But essentially, Zoids were these neat wind-up or battery-operated ones, and mine started with Robostrux. This one here, it might look a little glossy because I had to put a ton. I just basically coated it in WD-40, so it was a little smelly. I still got to wipe it off a little bit more just to get everything. It was so gummed up and stuff just from age, and just kind of not. The parts really don't last long. This plastic is pretty fragile, but some of them, like this guy, still works. I had to do a little bit of an operation here to get the winding bar to work. That part broke, so I just had to do a bend. I had to get it away. For some reason, the winding bar had a plastic bit that would rub up against this back leg and it wouldn't work. So just like weird design stuff like that happens a lot in these kits, but they're still really great. You can find the vintage ones online if you ever want to pick one up, because the new ones, of course, are fantastic. They're like, super high quality model kits, and they look real amazing. Back in the day, this is some of my first. Oh, he's missing his little bit there, so it's a little loose. These are some of my first experiences with model kits, and I didn't even really think about it till the other day. That might have been where a lot of my love started for building your own toys and stuff. So let's wind it up a little bit. This is going to be a little noisy, but what's funny is I want you to watch. The neck has a really cool movement to it. The mouth moves, but you can hear it squeaking. As you use it, it'll be like... It's just a really... The little motor inside, little wind-up motor, is not that powerful. So this might not even work. Let's see. It was working the other day really well. So he's supposed to walk. I was just getting him to work the other day. Oh, this part is missing. There we go. Why is it not working now? See, I'm getting WD-40 everywhere even. Yeah, well, that's not even moving now. Let's see. So you can see how it'll get gummed up in there. I bet I have something off because I put it together pretty hastily. There we go. Let's try that. So they're put together using the... Man, I should have wiped this off more. They're put together using these little rubber bits here that over time are basically useless. So let's put that guy to the side. He's just a mess. This one still works pretty well. So you have the gun that's supposed to hover like that. You really have to put a lot of winding into them for them to last more than, 2 minutes. 2 seconds. You can see him already winding. See, this part is loose. But you can see as he moves, you can see there's a really cool operation going on here. So there's some really cool engineering. Let me borrow one of his. I'll connect that back because I'm tired of that being loose. That's messing with everything. So there you go. See all the little gears moving right here? it's a really cool system just for basic engineering stuff. But they are really fragile. At least these old ones are. The Robostrux from way back in the day can be even more fragile and stuff because they're older. This beetle is kind of neat. He's supposed to be walking on these little these areas here are supposed to be the point that he makes contact with the ground. But what I find is it's often just too fragile to do very well. But you can watch it's already pressing down in the wrong way. So you can watch his wings come up. Is that not fantastic? I love that. Let me see if I can just hold him by the... There we go. Wind him up a little bit more. Gotta get the WD-40 everywhere. You can see how he walks, the legs, the wings come up. See, and this mechanism is interesting down here because it's so... You see how it works with those smaller parts there? But it's so fragile, and the little motors were so weak that it's easy for them to get stuck, you know, and to get kind of like they just stop moving. But still, they're really, really, really cool. I love how this one's wings pop up, you know, more like a beetle, like an actual beetle. I don't know why you'd want that in combat. The little guy sits right here where he's really not protected very well. The little pilots, see if I can get this one out of here. Back in the day, they would come in gold and silver. This one was blue, which is, I think, a marker of the 2000s one, you know, the early 2000s ones. But that gives you an idea on the scale. I don't know what scale that would be. That's, you know, somebody's told me before. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of a cool little quick look at some of my favorite toys from when I was a kid. I still love this bear one. I don't know why he has a big gun on his butt. I kind of think it would have been cooler if he had an actual, not a tail, but I don't know, like a radar dish or something cool like that. I do love his face though, and that cockpit is just really, really cool, real simple. So, you know, you could take an old kit like this and you could probably clean it up, assemble it a little better, maybe even glue it together, get that engine real cleaned up, and probably work a little bit better. But still, just a fun line. Really, really cool. Thought you guys might enjoy that. So have a good one, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.